Welcome back to K&S Exposed. I'm Kay, Kristy.
And I'm S, Sean.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
This is a Thanksgiving edition, special edition.
Right, that you will not be listening to on Thanksgiving.
Yes, because...
But I assure you, it is currently Thanksgiving as we record this.
It is currently Thanksgiving, and because we have a long weekend, we decided what better time to watch a couple movies and tune in for another podcast.
Talk about them.
Exactly. So let's just kick it right off, shall we? This was Sean's pick this week.
Right.
Obviously, if you checked in from our last podcast
Little Darlings.
Of Little Darlings, and we're seeing some love on Little Darlings, so thank you so much. Not so much that you're listening per se, of course that's huge for us, but that we love that movie. We quite adore it, and we're loving that it's getting some love.
Right.
Meaning the movie itself.
For a relatively obscure, difficult to watch, meaning difficult to obtain to watch film, it seems to be doing quite well.
Yeah, and we're excited that it's getting some love. So Sean's pick this week was Constantine. 2005. Keanu Reeves. I have a lot of favorite actors. I wouldn't say Keanu's in my top 3 per se, but I mean I do really, really like him, and plus he's hot.
Him being part of a project is never going to turn you away from viewing that
exactly.
project. Yes.
I mean, what is the one with Sandra Bullock?
The Lake
House. Okay, I want to actually say something bad about it, but I really can't because I haven't seen it. But based on the premise of it, it looks fucking terrible.
It sounds dumb as hell, and I totally want to watch it.
Okay, well, and I'm all about dumb, as you know, because some of the shit I watch. But but if Keanu's in it, I mean, how bad can it be?
It's
right?
worth at least watching.
Yeah. So when you announced this one at the end of Little Darlings, I was like, okay. Right when you said Keanu, I'm like, I'm in. Mm-hmm. So I'm sold. But I didn't really know anything about it. And as you know, I like to look up stuff before I watch a movie. I didn't really do that about this because I just didn't. I kind of wanted to know the cast.
Sure.
But I mean, once you said Keanu, I'm like, okay. I mean, how bad could this be? So as we know, I like to know right off the bat, and so do the listeners. Why did you pick this one?
As I kind of alluded to at the end of last episode, Constantine probably isn't something that I would have normally picked, but it was in the zeitgeist, I guess, fairly recently because
nice word.
Keanu Reeves, thank you. Keanu Reeves' popularity is kind of on the rise once again, thanks to the John Wick movies, Matrix 4, which I haven't seen yet. But primarily, I'd say John Wick has really kind of relaunched him into modern
another stratosphere,
right?
As it were.
He came back to do Bill and Ted 3. You know, I mean, he's been all over the place,
and he's lovable.
He's absolutely lovable.
I have to ask seriously. I didn't even have to write this one down. Who doesn't like Keanu Reeves?
I don't know. I think if you don't like Keanu Reeves, like it's okay to not like Keanu Reeves movies,
sure,
or some movies,
sure,
or even say that Keanu Reeves maybe not the greatest actor in the world, but I think he presents himself as a incredibly likable person.
Nice guy.
So it's hard to dislike.
And
Keanu
an interesting,
Reeves.
Tough life, too. With I believe his girlfriend died, and when so many years ago.
But to really answer your question, who doesn't like Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Chandler from Friends.
Does he not like... Oh, yes. Oh, duh. Okay, I was thinking of... I thought you were... No. I know who you're talking about. I thought you were talking about an episode from Friends, but I read Matthew Perry's book recently, and by the way, you don't have to read his book to know that he makes a couple of not-so-nice comments about Keanu and his acting, so...
Also... I did just remember Keanu Reeves being in that movie, Always Be My Maybe.
Yes.
Is that it? Where he plays
himself.
A dick version of himself, which
so
I think is fantastic.
So good. Oh, it's fantastic.
But anyway, yeah, so Keanu's been in the public mindset more lately.
Yeah.
Due to the success of John Wick and his other projects. And
again, I'll say it again. Everybody loves him. So
everybody loves him.
Everybody loves him. And he's hot. He's hot.
And this particular movie, it's been alluded to that they're going to make a sequel to it, or they're working on a sequel to it.
Constantine 2.
Constantine 2. I mean,
is there a target date? I
don't think there's a target date in mind. I think that it's being written right now. But Constantine not Constantine. Keanu Reeves is attached, obviously, to play Constantine. He wants to make the movie.
They kind of, we'll get to it, but they kind of leave it there. They leave it hanging.
Well,
but it could go either way.
It's a closed story.
It's closed, but I'm saying you could reopen it.
Yes, you can. It doesn't beg for a sequel. It's not like there's a loose end that you need to see.
We're going to get to that,
Sure.
Because I'm not begging for one, personally, but we'll get into that and why. But those are great reasons, obviously.
Yeah, so, I know that you're a fan of Keanu. Yes. And I knew that this movie was getting a sequel. And I myself hadn't seen this movie in probably, 15 years or so.
Right.
So I'm like, I should probably reevaluate it, rewatch it and see what I think about it. Because I had opinions then, and I had opinions now as well.
So anyway, this is, for all your picks, we just finished this, listeners, so I'm still actually processing. Not like I had to process Wild Things, because I don't know, I was all ready to talk about Wild Things, because there was lots to say. There's actually lots to say about this, but I'm still processing, because I don't 100% know until I think we talk through this, how I'm going to feel about it, which is what Sean and I do, and why we started the premise of this podcast, is because we would watch a movie and still just sit in our living room and talk about it.
Sure.
So, hence we thought, hey, maybe 5 people want to listen to us. I don't know.
Right. So
I like why you picked it. Literally 40 minutes in, I was like, okay, that's my first question. Why did you pick this? I believe it's based on a comic book to Hell something. What is it?
Okay, so
you're the comic book nerd, so you're going to know more of that.
This movie is based off a comic book character, but to call it loosely based would probably be an overstatement. The Constantine character in this movie is almost nothing like the character that was created in the books, in the story. First of all, Constantine was created by a British guy. He was modeled after Sting.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the comics, he's dressed more in a
I'm sorry, Sting
British,
from, as in
Sting from the Police.
Police,
yeah.
Okay.
And acting and talented actor. He wore a diaper in Dune.
And tantric sex and
tantric
whatnot.
sex, right?
Hot, good looking guy.
Sure, he
doesn't age.
He's definitely a good looking dude.
Much like Keanu.
So the character himself is usually trench coated. He's kind of like a British punk type guy, as opposed to an LA based guy in a suit the whole movie
with the skinny black tie.
That's not blonde
Sean,
at all.
That was a $200 shirt.
That is not. Yeah, it was a $200 shirt.
Yeah, we'll get to that too.
But so anyway, I would say that other than the fact that they both are, very much occult based characters, and they can do exorcisms and stuff. It's the feel of this version of Constantine, which really should be pronounced Constantine, by the way, if you listen to the creator of the character.
Okay.
He hated that everybody called him Constantine.
Well, I'm not going to say Constantine.
No, so. Right. And most people don't.
Okay.
But the creator is
like Valentine.
Kind of
yeah. I get it, but it's just okay.
Well, it's an English versus Americanized version.
Sure. No, I get it.
Obviously, the Keanu Reeves character isn't even trying to be British. He's not a British character.
Or Keanu. Or if you want to,
Keno.
You don't know.
I don't know.
How many times do you think people fuck up his name?
We probably have all fucked up Keanu's name.
No, seriously. It's like Kristy and Sean. You can't really screw it up.
Keanu just doesn't care anymore.
Well, he's Keanu.
Yeah.
Look at him.
His name's probably Jake in real life.
No, you think? From State Farm?
Yeah, from State Farm.
I don't mean this bad. You're a handsome guy. But, do you think Keanu Reeves cares if you fuck up his name?
No. Look, my last name...
if I was Christy Brinkley...
People misspell my name all the time, and
Yeah.
my last name is pronounced 3 different ways depending on who you talk
Oh, yeah,
to.
yeah, sure.
So, and
As is Kristy.
anytime somebody says my name incorrectly, I just go, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
And roll with it, because I stopped giving a damn about.
Yeah, interesting fact.
These
And I just said that I have to tell you this. Total segue, really quick, but that's what we do. This will take 10 seconds. I have no idea why, but I often get Kathy instead of Kristy.
Yeah, those people are just stupid.
No, I know this, but I mean, just tell me, because I want to make sure I'm not crazy. I literally said this on the phone to somebody at work the other day, one of my customers. We were on the phone, and we were just laughing about, but I literally said sometimes people call me Kathy. I mean, does Kathy sound anything like Kristy? Am I missing something?
No, just the K. I mean, that's really
all
you're
you
working
don't know
with.
that my name starts with K. I mean, I could be CH.
Okay, but even if you were, CH, you don't pronounce the ch.
Oh, well, no, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I get it.
No one says Charisty.
I know, but I'm just saying, if I said, hi, my name's Kristy.
Yeah.
Where the fuck do you get Kathy out of that?
No, those people aren't paying attention.
Okay. Or they don't care.
They're just living their life in their own head.
That's hurtful to me.
Yeah, no.
Because that means they're not listening
They're terrible
to me.
fucking people.
But there's a lot of people that don't listen to me.
Right.
So, I mean, you included, to be fair. Right? I mean, there's moments.
It's more selective, I think.
That's true. Oh, selective hearing?
Right.
Okay. Anyway, sorry, folks. Segue.
I want to finish talking about the character real quick.
Oh, my bad.
Because after this movie came out, which was successful.
Okay.
Not successful enough to make
this
a franchise. Yes, this
movie.
movie.
It was.
Yes.
Okay, I'm saying like less than 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm talking about money. I'm not talking. Okay. I'm not talking about critical success. I'm talking about financial success.
Okay. Well, because Keanu was in it.
Exactly.
They got to make his paycheck.
And this movie came out before the swath of every comic character ever gets a movie, thing started. This was just its own thing.
Right.
And many people probably went into this movie not knowing it was based on a comic at all. Okay. And came out none the worse for it, because it doesn't really matter. That you don't need to know a lot of backstory.
And well before the first John Wick. You know what I'm saying?
Years and years before.
No, but I'm saying
this was right after the Matrix series.
But I mean, probably. Still, everybody still had already the pre-love for Keanu well before John Wick, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So I mean, whatever. Attach his name to any project, and you're probably pretty golden, right? Well, segue. The only thing Matthew Perry was not wrong about, he shouldn't have said what he said, but he did reference his acting. You and I have had this discussion. This is why it's coming up. His acting is not...
He doesn't have a lot of range.
Thank you. I didn't want to say it. You said it. Yeah. So, Keanu, if you're listening, I didn't say it. Sean said it. It's not a bad thing. It's not a diss. I'm just saying, I had to come back and say, because I said if Keanu's name is attached to a movie, it's a moneymaker. Mm-hmm. But I have to do a subtext to that, because he is not the best actor. I mean, sorry, but I mean, I don't know that he's winning any Oscars. We all love his movies, but...
I think he's really good at picking roles that fit his range.
Sure. That's what I mean. There's just not a lot of range, is what I'm saying.
Do you want to see...
I still love you, Keanu.
Keanu Reeves in a hard-hitting, crime thriller? I don't know that I could see him in that. I mean, maybe you could, maybe you can't. I want to see my Keanu Reeves in action movies.
No, as do I.
And making quips and, and to some degrees
comedies. And not in the lake house.
Because he's has good comedic timing, too, as evident in the Bill and Ted films. And
sure.
Stuff of that nature.
And you're right. He's to him in the Matrix,
where he's playing himself.
Yeah, that was funny though. Now that was funny. Comedic chops right there. Yeah. I really did like that. And by the way, I'm not ripping on Keanu. I just had to say, I get why some people might be sitting out there going, "We all love him. He's hot. He's gorgeous. He's great. He's a nice guy. Super nice guy. Maybe the nicest guy on the planet for all we know. Sure. Next to you, of course.
Of course."
But there's not a lot of range. I mean, I love all his movies, absolutely, but there's just not a lot of range. I think that just should be noted.
Picasso couldn't paint the Mona Lisa. Everybody has their skill set.
Right.
He's got his type of roles that work for him, and as long as he's working within that circle, and he's not trying to extend too far out of that, then he's going to hit them all out of the park.
And also, do you find, too, this is a great question because you just said that, I also find maybe this is his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
This is his genre, I guess you could say, because if you look up most of his movies outside of The Lake House, it's pretty much status quo.
Right.
As Matrix, etc., John Wick, etc., as it should be. So, no, I get it. I just felt like I should note that because I think maybe there's people that just think Keanu movies are fucking stupid. Those are terrible people that think that.
I don't know what's wrong with those people.
Yeah. Well, we're not friends with those people.
No, I don't want to be.
Okay.
This was all set to be a blip in his movie career.
Right.
Because, again, we said this. There is an open door for a sequel based on how this movie plays out. Nobody was really clamoring for it.
Right.
I mean, it did well, but its story ends.
Sure.
You can walk away from this having seen a complete story, and most audiences did, to the point where the character of Constantine was given a TV series, and they recast him as with Matt Ryan playing the character. It shares no continuity with the movie whatsoever.
Yeah, but like I asked you at the end, he says goodbye to her. Or he doesn't say goodbye to her, but he's like, I'll see you around, maybe. So, like, I felt like that could have left it open for something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Also,
maybe she comes back in the sequel.
Also, but she seemed okay with it. It's like she only kissed him once in the car, and it was super brief, by the way, let down.
No real look.
But then she didn't even kiss him at the end.
This is it's one of the.
I wanted some kissing.
It's one of the pros that I see, and we see differently on that.
Okay.
I actually see that as a pro to the character, because he's not a rapey type character.
Yeah.
He's not the closest thing that comes to sex in this movie. This is the anti-Wild thing.
Yeah.
The closest thing that comes to sex is when she takes off her jacket to get into the bathtub. And she's like, do I need to take off the rest of the clothes? And he doesn't answer her.
And then he goes,
I'm thinking about it.
I'm thinking. Yeah.
Right. But which is a cute line.
It is a cute line.
Right.
Also, I wrote this down because we're talking about it. I felt no sexual tension or chemistry there.
There's not supposed to be.
Okay. I'm just making sure because, like, I was... When I just said a few minutes ago, I kind of wanted to kiss. I actually... I wanted to kiss because I want Keanu to kiss somebody because he's Keanu, but it's like I didn't really want him to kiss Rachel Weisz, right? Am I saying it right? Weisz, because I'm just like I'm not feeling it.
I think the problem is I think the lack of sexual chemistry becomes a kind of a sticking point and maybe extremely obvious. It's not a sticking point for me, but it's obvious that there's no chemistry.
Yeah.
And I think that it is...
That's the point.
I think it's the point, but I think as a casual viewer, like somebody who doesn't know anything about the character, it just strikes them as odd because, A, you're used to seeing sexual chemistry in every movie.
Sure. Between
leads, especially a male and a female dynamic. Secondly, these two people are way too fucking good looking to not want to hook up or not want the audience to hook them up.
Well, because also, are you picturing Keanu and Rachel Weisz babies right now? I mean, they'd be beautiful.
I'm picturing the Daniel Craig and Rachel Weisz babies that are probably going to happen. That's a great power couple. Okay. Daniel Craig not in this movie.
No.
That is Rachel Weisz's husband.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, and I mean, he's the better for it because I mean, she's a good-looking gal. I will. By the way, great abs during that scene where the devil's son's gonna come out of her belly. Like I was distracted by so many things. All I kept thinking is she has really nice abs.
You know what I was distracted with in the same scene is how I don't know if Rachel Weisz's stomach, like her actual waistline, is that small.
Yeah.
Or Keanu's hand is just that big.
You know, because when it went away and they just showed her stomach.
Flat stomach, right?
Well, first of all, she's about as white as me.
Sure,
meaning, we both need some sun.
Absolutely.
I was like, I think I found somebody more pale skin than me.
Welch. She doesn't get a lot of
that's
sun.
right. She is. But I mean, and I don't get sun because I burn, Right. I mean, we both have problems. But I'm just saying, I'm like, where is her waist? Like, she's tiny. But I was also like, that was an ab workout, with the devil's son trying to come out of her stomach.
Yeah,
I mean, she really worked her abs.
She did.
I mean, I actually wrote down ab workout because that was a lot of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. it could have been his hand looking like making her look small.
Yeah,
like you said.
I was saying his hand looked massive also in that same picture.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I didn't know where to go.
Well, you
with
know
it.
what they say, big hands.
Yeah. What do they say, Kristy? I've never heard this.
Big gloves.
Big gloves?
Yeah. Also, this is important because you just said it. You said, I don't think there was supposed to be chemistry. This is why I want to jump in and go, I don't like that comment. And here's why. Okay. And I got a main reason for it. I forget who asks them. Is it Papa Midnight?
Papa Midnight?
Who says, yes. Because remember, he's in the chair?
Yeah.
And Papa Midnight goes, "Are you really? Is this for a girl?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, well, kind of." And it's like, so if there's not supposed to be any sexual tension or chemistry, and you're not supposed to kiss, and he did once in the car. Remember when he gave her the necklace in the car before he got out to go fight Gavin Rossdale?
Yeah.
Okay, he gave her the necklace. He did a really quick kiss. So that was the only one we saw. But it's like, if there's no chemistry and there's like no love, like weird tension going on, why are you sacrificing yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's also a plot point.
I know, because I get it. Because then the heavens and God and right I get that. So he's being a little selfish.
He is
which
being a little
Tilda
selfish.
called him selfish.
Yes.
Okay. That kind of came full circle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wasn't expecting him to make out with Rachel. I mean, I don't think Daniel Craig would have approved, right? Anyway,
well, I don't think they were together at the time.
Oh, they weren't? Oh, in 2005, maybe not. We'd have to look that up. But whatever. I joke. That's that aside. It just, I don't know. It was confusing. It was just kind of confusing to me.
This movie, when again having not seen it in 15 years, when we rewatched it tonight, I was like, there's a lot of plot to this movie.
Right.
Like, it is a densely packed movie.
It's actually more than 15 years, but 2005.
It's when it came out.
Yeah.
It's probably been 15 years since I last seen it.
Oh, since you last saw it. I'm sorry. Okay. I thought you got your math wrong. So
no.
You're in accounting. I want to make sure, like, you know what you're talking about.
Well, keep me on my toes.
Okay, I try to. There were just a lot of distracting things for me. And that's the only reason I bring up a couple of them. Because there were confusing things throughout. Some of the quick little quips that were made, like, that was a $200 shirt, by the way. Like, it just sounded cheesy.
Oh, yeah,
like, you know I love cheese. I love cheese. Cheese in all movies, but it was just kind of weird. When they were eating food, remember after the big thing happened, and he goes, "I'm hungry." You know, he went to hell the first time, and with the cat in his lap, and then he came out of it, and he's like, "I'm hungry," so they go and get food. And then he's talking about the balance and the devils and the angels. 2 minutes in hell feels like a lifetime. Oh, this goes back to the range. I know it sounds like I'm ripping on him, and I'm not, because I love him.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I was trying to get into the movie. I was really trying, but then, you know, like little things like that. And then I call it hypocritical bullshit. You know, but he says it with just like I don't know. I didn't believe it. Like, and I'm trying to believe this movie. Like, I'm really trying. But it's like, I don't know. I felt, I couldn't attach. Like, 45 minutes in, I was trying to attach, and I couldn't.
No,
Does that make me a bad person?
No, that makes you giving this movie a fair shot.
Okay.
And as I watched you watch this movie, I actually thought you were more into it than you
said
did
that outside,
because you were actually quite like attuned to the film.
Well,
you were attentive to it. You did not seem to be rolling your eyes or anything.
No, well, as you know, we went outside after about an hour just to get some air.
Right.
You know, no spoilers, but you said, okay, we don't want to talk about it now, save it for the podcast, but what are you feeling? And I was honest with you. Yeah. I'm just like, you said you look really into it. And I'm like, because I want to give it a fair shot. I want to give it 100%.
And that's that's all this podcast
exactly.
is.
But I was like, nah, I'm not. So far, I'm not feeling it, and I don't know why. But I said we're only about, we got like 50 minutes left, so I'm keeping an open mind. But I'm just not loving it.
This movie feels awkward.
Yeah.
It's I really feel, and I felt the same way when I first saw this movie, and I still do today. There's a good movie there. Like, there's an interesting movie here, but it's just to the left or right of it.
Yeah.
This movie's excellently cast, in my opinion. For the most part, Tilda Swinton is awesome.
I wanted more, though.
Yes.
That's the only thing wrong with Tilda. I wanted more Tilda. Hear me out. More Tilda, less Rachel. Nothing against Rachel Weisz. And by the way, we now properly know how to say her name, right?
Yeah,
Weisz.
it's Weisz, yeah.
I don't mean that bad. I don't dislike Rachel Weisz.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to run out and see all her movies? No. But I don't dislike her in this. She's a pretty girl. She's whatever. The chemistry, I've already stated, was not there for me at all. Whether you say it's supposed to be or not supposed to be. And I'm sorry, I'm getting really animated about this because I feel this strongly about it. I think maybe Rachel was miscast, and I wanted more Tilda, less Rachel.
I think that's, first of all, agreed.
I love Tilda.
She's great. She's only in 2 or 3 scenes in the movie.
Yes. I'm like, where'd she go?
She's incredible in those scenes that she's in.
Her outfit is amazing too. What is that outfit, by the way?
Outfit?
With
all the straps.
Yeah. Didn't it look like bands from people in the hospital?
Right.
Like, were you collecting those? Do you know what I'm saying? Isn't that what it looked like?
Yeah. I mean, that's what it looked like.
If you looked up close, that's what it looked like.
It also had words on it.
Yes.
Like, some of them, like, obviously the hospital band, the name band was a theme with Isabel.
Yes. When she kept throwing it up into the wind.
And that's what he pulls back from hell.
But that's what it looked like to me.
Well, it did. But, like, instead of, like, proper names, it said stuff like, it had, like, sins or state of minds on it.
See,
like,
it
it said, like, sorrow, things of that nature. But it never, like, held on to it long enough.
Right.
To really focus on what those words said or meant.
See, now, your eyes are better than mine. We already know that. I say that every day. But I didn't even see that. But, I mean, and maybe I did in a couple scenes and I just wasn't paying attention. I think I was just more like...
I also thought, like, maybe it was, like, supposed to be like almost like a broken straitjacket, sort of thing. Like, it's kind of strappy.
Yeah. And then it had strings hanging from it. Those pants were kind of badass, though.
But the end credits scene that has Shia LaBeouf in it...
Okay.
He's wearing the exact same outfit that she was.
Okay.
As he was turned into the angel.
And I did not see that scene.
You didn't notice that because you were in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But that would imply to me that that's basically like the heavenly gear. That her normal angel outfit.
Right.
Maybe all angels wear that same type of thing.
Right.
But yes, the name bands is an interesting touch to that.
It was.
Because I don't really understand what that's
there was
trying
a
to say.
succession of them. There was she had like 6 or 7 in a row. And I wasn't focusing on any words on them at all. It was just like, that's a lot of bands and they look like hospital bands.
Right.
And then I'm just like, am I missing something? Just like, let's talk about it, his apartment. Or whatever that's called. A loft?
Loft or apartment.
Okay, first of all...
Cool as hell.
No, first of all, it's cool as hell. It looks dirty as shit because, he's got spiders, clearly that scene with the spider under the glass. Yeah. But it's already badass because he's above a bowling alley. And, you know what I mean? I think that's cool as shit. Bowl.
Was his apartment above the bowling alley? Okay.
Yes. It said bowl. Remember, it was the name of I don't know if it was the name of the place, but it's clearly a bowling alley. So you're already winning because you're above a bowling alley. To our listeners, I love bowling, sorry. Much more than my husband. So I just think that's cool that it was just... Plus how it was just one of those...
That's within walking distance to a Quiznos.
Right? Exactly.
Nice.
But it's... what am I talking about? It's like a long apartment. It's not like... It's big in that regard.
It's lengthy,
It's lengthy.
It's not like a wide open space.
All the fucking big water bottles. Like, I literally remember I paused and I said... It was so... When I say distracting, you always know when I'm watching a movie. I mean, it could be like the hottest scene ever. And if there's something in the background that's distracting to me... I mean, they could be having, like, crazy sex. And if there's something in the background, I'm like, what is that? Is that OCD? Or, like, ADHD? What is
no,
that?
I don't think it's.
But
either.
I can't focus.
Because here's the thing: you're watching a movie. A movie is being made,
right?
And every frame of that movie that you're watching, somebody looked at.
Right.
You know, somebody planned it out. Having all those water bottles in that apartment was a choice. Somebody said that wasn't an accident. Somebody set it up that way intentionally.
And by the way, we're assuming our listeners have seen the movie.
Obviously.
We're not talking water bottles like a Dasani water bottle. We're talking about the big...
Like a crystal dispenser.
Yeah, like that you go fill up at the grocery store. A water cooler. And there's like... I started to count. When he was talking to Rachel in that one scene, I know I shouldn't have done it because I was supposed to focus on the scene. I was like, there's like 50 of them. That's where my mind goes, though. And I'm like, what's he doing? And then you go, I don't know if they're empty or they're full. And I'm like, that's the other thing. Are they empty? Are they full? And what... it's never talked about.
I'd like to say that it doesn't matter, but if it didn't matter, why would you do that there at all?
And what I'm saying, if you guys have seen this movie recently or not for a while, rewatch that scene and tell me I'm not crazy. Because in that scene, every time they showed his apartment, they're like lined up against the wall. There's like 50 of them, and I don't care if anybody's going, really, Kristy? Because I don't care. This is what I focus on. And it was bothering the shit out of me. And then also, I was already bothered. And then you said, we don't know if they're empty or full. And then my mind went, oh my God, are they empty or are they full? So then I went even more crazy.
Just goes even deeper.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. And it was weird and distracting.
Maybe there was a deleted scene or something that explains the mystery of the water bottle. Maybe that's what the sequel's about.
Well, if anybody wants to sit at home and Google this, or once we're done with the podcast, I'll Google it. But not that we'd find any information on it. But I just think it's weird.
I mean, it could be on the audio commentary. Who knows? I mean, I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, but you know what? The last thing somebody's thinking about in this movie is the water bottles.
But that's the first thing you're thinking about.
Well, that's what your wife does.
You're probably not the only person that's ever thought about the water bottles.
It's weird. It's weird. It's not weird if there's like 2 or 3.
Of course not.
No, because it's just like...
That's just like, I haven't taken this to the dumpster yet, sort of thing.
Well, also, let's think about the environment, people, right? With the you don't need... There's 50 of them. Like, what are you doing? Also, I didn't see him drink water once, did you? I saw him drink nothing but, booze? Whatever the brandy, I don't know if it was brandy, but it was like the hard liquor he kept pouring into his cup. There was no water being drunk in his apartment. So, at least drink a glass of water so you can tell me, like, maybe you're a big water drinker. I don't know.
Did anybody drink water in this movie?
I don't know.
Because...
Oh, yes. Yes, there was one scene... something was going on in some, like a big action scene, and I think somebody was drinking a water bottle while they were watching
it.
Yeah,
it was,
you know what I'm talking about?
Gavin Rossdale.
Yeah!
Who was watching as the priest.
You know why? Because Gavin drinks water because he takes care of himself. That's what I'm saying. He's also Gavin Rossdale.
He's a demon. So, I mean, he probably didn't even need that water.
Yeah, he's also good. He was good looking, too. I didn't even know he acted. Did he? Is it acting?
It's not like they gave him much to do other than say a few lines and look good. I mean,
that suit was nice.
Special effects did the rest, yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, I think he was put... It's also interesting because Bush isn't even on the soundtrack. So you would think that they would have pulled something like... That Gavin Rossdale, for those who are not aware, was the lead singer of the 90s band Bush.
Yeah. Also,
And for a long time was the boyfriend... Were they ever married?
They were totally married.
Were they married? Gwen Stefani.
Yes. They have like 2 kids together.
Oh, okay.
See, this is where I jump in to tell you stuff you don't
know.
And
I appreciate
also,
that.
was that the first time he's ever been ugly? With all that makeup on, making him like the demon, because he's normally a really good-looking guy.
I could not tell you another movie that Gavin Rossdale is in.
Okay, well, somebody could be Googling that at home already.
It's also possible that Francis Lawrence, this was his first film as a director. I think he might have come from music videos, and so
there you go.
Used him as a cast. I don't know that. But
we're not fact checking ourselves,
but it's possible.
Also, were you not waiting? I'm sorry. This is also where your wife's mind goes. Sorry to say, but Like when he came on screen, he wasn't on screen that much, but I was waiting for him to like break out into a Bush song because that would have been kind of cool.
Well, yeah, I was picking like Queen of the Damned vibes
Yeah.
from his character, like he was going to do a show. I can't remember who was in. Was it him that was in Queen of the Damned, or was it somebody else? Because that was the Rockstar movie. Aaliyah was in that.
The tub scene you brought up earlier when we were talking about chemistry,
Right?
And you said, she said, "Do I need to take all my clothes off?" And he said, "I don't know. I'm still thinking." That was kind of cute. That wasn't so much cheesy. A lot of cheesy lines, but I don't mind the cheesy lines so much. Right. But what was distracting again? The little ducky on the tub.
That's a beautiful touch.
It's a beautiful touch. I'm and even when he's submerging her, and she's like, "How long do I need to stay under?" And he's like, "As long as you can, or as long as it's needed."
As long as it's needed, yeah.
And like he's literally still holding her under, and she cannot breathe at all before the tub even breaks. When she breaks through. And that little fucking ducky's just sitting right there. It was kind of funny. It was kind of funny, but distracting again to me, because if nobody else does this, if you don't get distracted when you're watching a movie, then I can't help you, I guess. But it's just, I'm not saying it wasn't a nice touch, but it's like, why was the fucking duck there? It was just kind of funny.
Well, I mean, he has a lot of tchotchkes in his house, and I just kind of like the idea that there's a duck by his tub.
Okay. He's
think,
Keanu.
I think it's kind of
maybe Keanu
a neat little thing.
Yeah, maybe Keanu.
I mean, maybe it's an occult duck that was present for some.
It wasn't in the bathroom, a water bottle. So at least it was a duck.
There was the Amityville Beatles.
Oh, he had a water heater right next to the tub,
that is cool.
Which you commented on.
A water heater should be next to a tub at all times. It should,
because that means what?
Means you're getting hot water right away.
Yep, right. We're talking fast, people. We're talking seconds.
No bullshit.
Yeah, I think you found that scene pretty sexy.
That scene was sexy just because of that.
Just because of that.
Forget about the two sexy people near the tub.
Near the tub, right?
Just the fact that there's a water heater.
And she got in with her shoes on. So, yeah, there's no sex happening when you're getting in the tub with your shoes on. So,
yeah, there's multiple scenes of people with their shoes in water.
I know. When he was with the cat and went to hell the first time in the foot soaker, he had his boots on. Okay, so a couple things I thought of. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you
fire away.
Okay, the movie started, and all I know is Constantine. Okay,
sure,
and a beautiful Shia. I don't know if you want to call him beautiful, but Shia.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean a beautiful. Super young is what I meant. Like he's like a baby. I meant beautiful because he looked like adorable because he's very young in this.
Yeah. It's also probably the least annoying I've ever found Shia LaBeouf.
Sure, that too, and also not on screen a ton.
How I like my Shia LaBeouf.
Yes.
Used
I'm not saying
sparingly.
Yes, I'm not saying I'm a huge fan either, but I mean, apparently Constantine has his own personal cab driver, which is what I said to you. Anyway, when the movie started, I think it was the priest when he was gonna go and get the demon out of the girl in the beginning. The priest said John, and I was like, right away, it already started. My mind starts going. You know how I get distracted? My mind starts...
You got distracted by his name being John?
Yes. I went, are you kidding me? This is John Constantine? Here's why. John Wick.
Oh,
because I turned to you and I go, did he say John? You didn't catch what I was doing. I said, did he say John? And you said yes. And I went, that's kind of funny. Because I was thinking John Wick. Then I was like, oh, Point Break, Johnny Utah. I'm like, is there any other... You know what I mean? Wow. It's kind of funny.
Because I was going to say, like, yeah, but you can't hold that against it because Wick came out so many years later.
No, right.
But you're right, but Point Break was a decade before this movie, so...
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny. That's why it was just a little blip in my mind. It wasn't, like, distracting like the water bottles. But where you were... Like, I turned to you and I said, it's John Constantine? And you were like, yeah, so... And I was like, John Wick? Okay. And then I was like, Point Break, Johnny Utah.
I think he's a John in Matrix, too.
Okay. I did not look up Matrix. He's in Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino, of course. Okay, I kind of dig that movie because it's just, I don't love it, but I mean...
Oh, I dig that movie.
Okay.
I think it's cool.
His name's Kevin in that.
Yeah.
So, okay, we veered from John in that. And then, of course, Speed, he's Jack.
Right.
So I just thought that was kind of funny because, like, John Constantine.
Interesting thing to note.
But yeah, but babe, that's how my mind works. Mm-hmm. It's what I do. I'm not proud of it necessarily, but it's just how my mind works, and it's probably not a big thing to anybody else, but it's just. But you make a good point. The movies are far enough apart that there's... And John is a common name, so okay, whatever.
And it is the character's name. I mean, it's not like they changed
he's
it.
Neo in The Matrix. So.
Yeah, but Neo is the name he's given. He's Mr. Anderson. Okay. Throughout the movie, I think his name is John Anderson beforehand, but I could be wrong.
Well, we haven't also seen The Matrix in a long time either.
It's been many, many years. I probably saw this movie.
Oh, I have not seen The Matrix in years. Anyway, just a little, whatever.
Sure.
Just a little drop of things that I think of when I'm watching it.
What else you got?
Also, if we're on the same note, this already goes back to what we said earlier about action movies and his genre, and he's very good at it. Except for the Netflix one, I love.
Yeah.
Where he's got more comedic chops. He's always running. He's fighting bad guys. So, for me, I think the one of the main notes I made about this: running, fighting bad guys, a la John Wick. If we're gonna really get down to the review, it's just a poor man's John Wick for me. And he's John Constantine, and he's just
okay.
Yeah, he's. Kind of for me, a little bit.
I think there's way more going on in this movie than any.
I'm a fan of the Wick movies.
I love the Wick movies.
When the third one came out, I went and saw the double feature. I mean, that was like a 6-hour thing at the movie theater that I did because and then I got to see the new one right after.
Aren't you glad I forced you to watch John Wick?
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about that. So, because the first Wick people. The puppy scene. So, that's why I did not see that for a long time. So, I'd like some credit there a little bit, because that was why I didn't watch it. Mm-hmm. But, great fucking movies. I'm not saying he's not good in this. I'm just saying...
I'm not
this is
defending this movie.
No, but you just seemed surprised when I just said, poor man's John Wick.
I think that John Wick is a stellar action franchise.
Yes.
This is much more of a plot-driven movie than John Wick is. John Wick is literally, my wife is dead, they killed my puppy.
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck everybody else up. Like, I am taking out revenge and vengeance.
Right, but then you say this is plot... I get it, but you're saying this is plot-driven. I mean, a couple times we paused it, and I was just like, what? Meaning, I thought I kind of understood where it was going, but it was just still a little bit, I don't know. It was kind of a meh for me, I guess.
I mean, it didn't work for you, and that's fine.
Yeah. I did not hate this movie by any means. But I just didn't, I don't know. I'm trying to muster up. Did I just say muster?
You said muster.
I love that word, muster. But okay, I'm trying to muster up something that is making me go... Wow. And I also always think about my Letterboxd review, how I'm going to base this. And by the way, many of the listeners could be disagreeing with me right now. I believe you gave it 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
And what say you after you saw this now again tonight? Are you solid on your 3.5?
I think I'm solid on the 3.5. I could go down to 3, be a little bit more critical of it. Here's the funny thing is, I could be exceptionally critical of this movie.
Okay.
Because it's a movie based on a character that I've read.
Right.
That is absolutely nothing like the character that I've read.
Okay.
And I could just do the whole comic book nerd thing, say, movie not like book, movie bad.
Yeah.
But I don't really feel
also,
that.
Are you a caveman?
Yes.
Movie not like book.
Well, I'm doing the average internet reviewer.
Okay, okay. I'm just making sure.
Facebook commenter. You know, it's sort of, I don't have time for question marks or full reviews.
Right.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, I get it. Or extra words.
And there's things about them. The TV series that Constantine had.
Right.
Is a much better version of the character. And in all honesty, the actor that they got to play Constantine on the TV series,
right.
is perfect for that role.
Right.
There's part of me that's very upset that they're saying fuck all of that.
Right.
Let's give Keanu another shot
to
make a sequel to this movie. Because I think that is the superior version of this character.
And he's obviously totally on board with it, right? Clearly.
He's been pushing for it.
Oh, okay.
Keanu loved making this movie for whatever factor it is. He loves the character. He's always mentioned it in interviews in the past, saying, I really liked Constantine. I'd love to go back to it. The director said the same thing. I had a great time with it. And it was profitable. So why not do a sequel years later when, A, everybody still looks great.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to bring back people from this movie, you could. And that's kind of crazy if you think about it. The movie's almost 20 years old. It's 17 years old right now.
Yeah.
2005 to 2022. So it's 15 years old right now. Tilda Swinton looks exactly the fucking same.
She has not,
Bring her back.
Well, to be fair,
please bring her back.
Keanu hasn't aged.
Keanu hasn't aged. Rachel Weisz still looks great.
Yeah.
If you wanted to bring Rachel Weisz back, you could.
Yeah.
You don't need to. But if you wanted to bring her back for, like, story purposes or
Shia,
something,
well, Shia's probably
Shia's age, but Shia's appropriately...
No, Shia might have problems getting back to it. We don't know what's going on with Shia, but...
No, who does?
Yeah,
I don't think Shia knows what's going on with
Shia
Shia.
does,
And you know what? I can do without Shia being in the sequel
whatever.
if I'm dreamcasting this movie.
Yeah.
So part of me, I am interested in a Constantine 2. But I'm not.
Right.
I'm not somebody who was gunning for it.
Right.
I was satisfied with the movie that I got because I think that on its own merits, do I think it is a good Constantine movie? No. Do I think it's a good movie? Like, was I entertained by it? Did I have a good time? Yeah. But I'd much rather they do a real version of the character.
Yeah.
Or a more authentic version of the character than what this movie presented.
Yeah. And I did, we always talk about Letterboxd because, I just, it factors into, we always rate stuff on Letterboxd when we watch it. I just, during a scene where we had paused the movie for a few minutes, I did look on Letterboxd to see what my friends thought of it. And I would say on an average, probably about 3.5. But then about 6 or 7 of my friends just said they watched it.
Yeah,
so they did not rate it, which is fine.
No one's seen this movie recently.
Sure, exactly. I mean, it's 17 years ago, right? So I will note, and one of them just said she fell asleep the first time during the movie, and I don't know if the second time was much better for her. I kind of dug her review a little bit.
Yeah.
By that I mean, it's a good friend of ours, but it just, that spoke to me because I was not going to fall asleep during this. I want to give this movie a fair shake. It's just...
I'd even say its story is too involved that if you...
You got to pay attention.
You have to pay attention to it.
I mean, again, I paused it and asked you a couple questions. Mm-hmm. It's not because I'm slow. It's not because oh my God, I'm bored. And, I just don't want to put a lot of thought into this. A couple times I was really like, huh?
Okay. You also have to understand my background. I was raised Catholic. So all of these characters in this movie... Oh, no, I got better.
Okay.
But I was raised Catholic. And so... all of these characters, the biblical characters.
Sure, I get it.
I know their story. I know where they're from, and it speaks to me a little bit more. I mean, but I look at, and I hope I don't offend anybody, by saying this. I look at all of those religious stories,
right,
and I love them. But I also, and as I always say, I also read comic books,
right,
and I love Batman and Superman too. Doesn't mean I believe in them.
Right. I get it.
And so I look at them as just stories and cool stories at that. And so it's like, okay, you have the devil, fighting over. I mean, one of the coolest things that in this movie, and the coolest thing, let's say, just put it this way, the coolest thing about John Constantine as a character, like how he was created, is that he is just a guy.
Yeah. He
doesn't have superpowers. I mean, he's occult-minded.
Right.
But a bullet could kill him. cancer could kill him.
Sure.
Anything could kill him. He couldn't go up against Superman.
Well, not anymore, because Lucifer took it out of him.
Lucifer took it out. But the things that I like about Constantine is, in a very anti-hero type way, he typically has a devil-may-care attitude about everything.
Right.
Because he's seen it all. He knows what's what.
Right.
And so he's like, I can talk to demons and just say, go to hell. You know, like, you don't scare me. Nothing scares me. Usually, he doesn't have very many friends because the people who get close to him end up dying or falling off or, you know, working against him somehow.
Right.
But he's very much a street-centered type personality. I don't really get that vibe from Keanu. It's there, but it's not. And that's where
that's why John Wick, first of all, John Wick has to be one of my favorite franchises. Right. Is that the right word, franchise? Yeah, okay. By far. It's fucking kick-ass. He's awesome. Mm-hmm. He's got a dog. And now he's got this awesome pit bull with him. I can't talk enough about it. I'm getting excited because when's the next one coming out? Like May of 2023. I'm so excited I can't stand it.
But John Wick might as well be a superhero.
But okay.
I mean,
well, you can't kill him.
He's not kill him. He dodges bullets left and right.
But I'm saying, that's what I said. It's not, I know this was well before the first John Wick, which I said was 2014? And then this was 2005. Like, I get it, but it's just, this just wasn't believable to me. And also, I said to you, what was driving me nuts, there is one thing I hate with movies, where you have to hold the remote control in the volume, because they're whispering.
The sound sucks.
The sound is terrible in this. They're whispering, and by the way, Keanu is soft spoken anyway. Right. Okay, I think even in real life, because you've heard him in interviews and stuff. But he's his characters are soft spoken, even in John Wick. But he's whispering, and then all of a sudden, boom! This big scene, and I'm just like, I said to you, babe, give me the remote, because this is just like all over the fucking place.
I 100% agree on that. Just about everything. The movie's biggest flaw, in my opinion, is everything to do with sound.
Yeah.
Like, everything. I don't mind that everybody's soft-spoken.
Right.
Because I don't feel like Constantine's somebody who should be running around yelling. Like, he's too chill. I
didn't tell him to yell. I just said, speak up, fucking people. Right.
But, I mean,
even Rachel.
He's also trying to be secretive about everything he's doing, too. So you're not going to be really projecting.
Yeah, but baby, at one point I had it on like 20 or 21, which is pretty loud on our sound bar, and it was like, what is he saying?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, big neck scene, and it just blew my ears out.
The music in this movie sucks ass. The use of music.
The sound
in this
quality.
movie
No one's
ass.
winning awards for sound quality on this, or music of any kind.
The soundtrack is just bad. It's a bad decision for the music that's in this movie because. Yeah. But it also is of its era.
Yeah.
It's of that mid-2000s where it's like, oh, it's edgy. We need to have like a new metal type soundtrack going on in the background because it was what was popular, you know, at the time.
Right.
I don't like it. I think it really dates the movie.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't feel fresh. I mean, one of the other things I don't like is, you know, they show Heaven and Hell, and Heaven and Hell is just LA. Like, it's literally right where they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Just... It either looks apocalyptic or it looks like the spires, you know, of the building in the very limited amounts of heaven that we see towards the end of the movie. I don't like that. I don't like that whole concept, and that's strictly movie. That's not source material.
Have you been to Los Angeles? I mean, you know.
I've only been to Hell Los Angeles.
Okay, I'm just saying. No offense to our listeners if you're from LA, but just good point though. You know?
I mean but that was a decision, right?
I know.
Like, somebody consciously was like, oh, I have this idea. Let's make it exactly like where you currently are. He even says it. Yeah. You know, like, hell is just behind one door. Heaven's behind another door. You know, it's all the perspective and what you choose to see and whatnot, or however the hell he says it, you know, in the movie. It's not an approach that I like.
Right.
I said this, you know, at the end of Little Darlings. This isn't a movie I love.
Right.
I'm not making any claims that I do. Is it a fine movie? It's an okay movie.
Yeah.
In my opinion. It's probably closer to a 3 than a 3.5.
Yeah.
I mean, rewatching
it. And then let's talk about animals dying in it. Because, I refuse to watch any movies with animals dying in it. But
cat was fine.
I know. Huh? The cat was fine because I said, if this cat better be okay. But then, in the beginning with the cows. But, I turned to you and you looked at me right away with the cows falling down. Yeah. I'm like, okay, they're CGI cows.
Yes,
for Christ's sake. Cows. I mean, some perspective, please. I'm fine with that. It's just, I've never seen this movie, clearly. Hence why you picked it for this episode. I don't know that I ever wanted to see it. And now that I did see it, I didn't take any outside information or look up anything. I really didn't. I just wanted to know who was in the cast.
Yeah.
And I just, I just not a fan. Just not a fan.
That's right.
And I want to say I'm actually vacillating on my score between 2.5 and a 3 on this. Interesting. You want to drop yours a half. I feel like I've given worse movies a 3. Okay, so I feel kind of bad to give this 2.5. Would it maybe get a 3? Because let's bump that shit up because it deserves a half star for.
What's the average? Do you know?
No, I said that a few minutes ago already on. Oh, but maybe more of your friends have rated it.
I mean the proper average.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's below 50% on Rotten.
It's 3.3.
Wow.
Yeah.
On Letterboxd?
On Letterboxd.
As an average.
Yes.
Okay.
My friends range between 2.5 and a 4.
Okay.
No one more than that. No one less than 2.5.
Between my friends, my one friend gives it a 4, and would like the sequel, and that's fine because that's fine. My one friend fell asleep. Then across the board, you gave it a 3.5, a 3, a 3.5, and then I have like 6 friends that just watched it, and that's all I can see. I don't think it's fair to give this a 2.5. I mean, for me, I think it's fair if you want to give this anybody to give this a 2.5, or give it what you want.
Rate it however
exactly.
They want.
But I'm probably going to give this a 3, only because there are elements that I liked about it, and we joke the water bottles bugged me, and the little things. Also, by the way, when I said I'm distracted, after the cat scene where he goes to hell the first time, and she goes, "Don't let anything happen to my cat."
Yeah.
Okay, and now I know you wouldn't make me watch a movie where an animal dies, so I was pretty sure the cat was going to be okay.
Yeah.
But again, where my mind goes, remember when he got done and she opened the door and the cat jumped off his lap and went in the hallway?
Yeah.
I was distracted. Who's watching the cat? Like, the cat's going in the hallway. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Did you not think that?
Well, no,
you're a cat lover, too.
The cat went in the hallway, and it's important to note,
okay,
this is not the apartment hallway.
Oh.
This is the outside the apartment hall.
That's what I'm saying.
So, because he made Rachel
said
leave the apartment.
I understand that. But when she opened the door, Doc
so the cat left
was the name of the cat. Yeah.
And we did never see the cat again in the rest of the movie.
I know.
Yes.
This
is where I am on your animal side.
Okay.
And I'm like, this fucking bothers me.
No, but the cat didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing happens to the cat in the movie.
No, when he goes to do his thing and he's holding it and he's looking into his eyes, I was afraid, okay, something's going to happen to the cat. But again, I digress what I just said. No, I don't think anything is. The cat was fine. But when the cat got out into the hallway, I'm like, we don't know. I mean, does the cat go in the hallway before and come back in? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you even said we don't see the cat the rest of the movie.
We don't know. Yeah. And chances are that cat's not going to be in the sequel.
Well,
I mean,
then I think we have our answer. What happened to the fucking cat?
Well, the cat died at some point between 2005 and 2023.
But we don't know that. Literally, she opened the door. The cat went into the hallway.
Yeah.
I wrote it down. Where's the cat? But I told you that scene.
Doc.
Oh, it's Doc? I thought it was Doc.
No, I thought it was
Doc.
I thought it was Doc. I could be wrong.
Oh, I literally thought she said, when he said, what's the cat's name? And she says, Doc. But I could be wrong. I don't know. And I'm not going to look that up and take our listeners' time right now. That would be just I thought it was Doc. Anyway, so fine.
My point is the cat has a name. And as soon as you name something, I care about it.
I know. Me too.
I don't care about the cows because they're just cows out in the field.
Oh, they were CGI cows.
They were CGI cows.
Yeah.
They didn't really exist
That's why
anyway.
it didn't bother me.
But all these cows drop dead at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Right?
And cows were not
they're
harmed.
not like murdered. You know, they're not like, it's not like violence against a animal, even a fictitious animal.
No. They were clearly CGI cows.
They were clearly CGI cows, and they dropped dead.
I know.
Also, you want to talk about some bad CGI? This was the era of bad CGI. And bad CGI was just about ending when this movie got made. But some of the
that was a real fucking cat.
On Rachel Weisz's face were fake. And it was obvious. And I'm like, all right, come on. You couldn't have faked a cry. Or did she fake a cry and it wasn't obvious enough?
I already said I thought she was miscast.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? I like Rachel Weisz as an actress.
I'm not saying I don't.
I wouldn't disagree with you on that too. I think she actually, and her performance, forget the fact that I don't think that Keanu Reeves is a good version of the character.
Right.
Him being what he is I don't like that Rachel Weisz's character almost matches him in tone.
Yeah. Yep. And they're both whispering.
That doesn't necessarily bother me. What bothers me is she doesn't have a problem with the way things go.
I know.
In this movie. Like, I'm sorry if I was a young adult, male or a woman, let's say mid-20s. Let's just say everybody's mid-20s, right?
Right.
My sister commits suicide. I don't believe that it's suicide, but she commits suicide. I'm a detective, so I am a streetwise person. I run into John Constantine, who treats me like a dick on more than one occasion.
Right.
And then I see a fucking demon.
Yeah.
Many demons.
She was lack of emotion.
You
even said, did you CGI her tears in there?
Right.
Maybe because she couldn't fucking get them on her own. And also, you just said it doesn't bother you that they were whispering. You know what? Maybe you guys should have gotten together because you know what you have in common? You both whisper. So, like, you guys can go whisper together in, like, the corner and then, like, whisper and make out and stuff. It's just like they had the same tone.
You really want to get them together, don't you?
No, I actually don't, because I don't want to get them together because I believed zero of their chemistry. And I actually don't like that you said earlier, and I'm going to go back to it, I don't think they were supposed to have chemistry. Jesus Christ, every movie with a man and a woman, no matter what, there should be some, hear me out, there should be some element of chemistry. I don't care if there's a guy that's 70 and the woman is 30. There's still some element, hear me out, of chemistry in the fact of even just a good relationship. I just watched a movie that was 2 hours and 1 minute. Yes, to the minute. 2 hours and 1 minute. He is sacrificing everything for Rachel Weisz, who there's zero chemistry. They've kissed once. I don't even know what you guys see in each other. And then, but you sacrificed everything for her, and then that's it. Well, the good news is Lucifer took out his cancer, which, by the way, I didn't even know that's what was happening until you told me that, because I was like, I didn't understand that. But then he made him stay on Earth.
Yes.
Like God was going to take him.
That is the most Constantine bit of this whole movie is how it's set up. This is why you keep saying he made this ultimate sacrifice for Rachel Weisz.
Well, he did for the sister, kind of.
Yes, but that's the thing is he's as a character, as he's always been presented in other media prior to this movie, he uses his wits and his smarts to get through everything because he's not a superhero.
Right.
So he tricks the devil. The devil could kill him in a heartbeat. All of these characters could kill him in a heartbeat. He has to outsmart them. The whole thing in this movie is that he knows he's going to go to hell.
Right.
And he's been working towards redemption, and even Gabriel, Tilda Swinton's character, says, you're not going to get it. Because everything you're doing is for yourself, not for somebody else. Even when you say it's for somebody else, it's not.
Right.
He did when he sacrifices himself.
He says, "Stay on Earth."
Right. He doesn't want him in heaven. He wants him in hell. Yeah. So he gives him his life back so that he has plenty of chances to fuck up in the future.
So he can take him back again.
Exactly.
But taking his cancer away so he can't die anytime soon. Because they told, the lady told him you have you probably have 6 months, or he said, I have 6 months to a year left because it's aggressive lung cancer.
Right.
30 cigarettes a day, by the way. Oh my God.
Since you're 15.
Since you're 15. I can't even, when they said that, I was completely like disgusted. Like, seriously? How are you not already dead? But, okay. You're not going to die why did he take his cancer then? Why didn't you just make him stay but without the cancer?
Because if he died, all things as they were,
he'd
6
still
months
go.
from now,
he'd still go to heaven.
He'd go to heaven for the sacrifice that he made.
I gotcha. This gives him more time.
This gives him a full life, essentially.
Right.
To potentially fuck up.
Right. But, good point. At the end, and it almost made me laugh when he popped the piece of gum in his mouth.
And that bothers me.
It's annoying because it's like, he wants you to fuck up so you come back to hell. You took away his cancer. He realizes, okay, I'm not going to... It was such an important scene. He puts gum in his mouth, so he obviously quit smoking.
Right.
At least for now.
Or he's trying to.
Or at least till the sequel, Constantine 2. Maybe he starts smoking weed. We don't know. Or doing cocaine. Or vaping. But he puts gum in his mouth, so he's not... Okay, the cancer's gone, so First of all, stupid scene. You don't smoke 30 cigarettes a day from the time you were 15 and go cold turkey.
Maybe.
You don't do it.
You know what, though?
Sorry, you don't.
Maybe you just saw heaven, and you're like, oh, fuck, I really gotta get my shit together. I'm not defending it, and I don't even think...
I don't buy it at all.
Well, and here's the thing.
And is it Nicorette? That's what I want to know. Was it regular gum or was it Nicorette? That's also what I was thinking. Isn't that terrible? That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe they should have showed it as Nicorette. And
I think they should.
They could have used this as a anti-smoking tool.
Thank you. And Nicorette, you would have been the better for it, and you would have got some money off of it.
Promotion or whatever. But that's the thing is that one of the things that bothers me about the movie version of this character. Comic book, graphic novel, John Constantine.
Yeah.
The ending would have been the same.
Right.
He would have outsmarted everybody. He would be back on Earth and cancer-free. The next scene would have been him lighting up a cigarette.
I know.
And because that's his personality.
It's
not. It's not in him to want to. He likes to ride the middle, kind of like Papa Midnight does in this movie, or he keeps saying that he does.
Kind of like Shia did a little bit in his character.
Well, and Shia is obviously his apprentice, or he's trying to teach him the ways. So he's looking up to John Constantine in that way,
right?
But it's definitely a betrayal of the character to me. I think that is a very Hollywood thing that they did to make it like, oh, we don't want this character smoking anymore because it's just bad.
Also, you saw the scene when he blew up with the gun when his friend died in the area. I want to say above the bowling alley.
Remember where the ball return?
Yeah, and where he shot his gun and part of the cigarette thing blew off. And remember, literally,
Surgeon General's
oh my God. Okay, what blew up was the bottom of the box that says Surgeon General's warning. This may lead to it's like lung cancer and complicate pregnancy and hazardous to your health. It was like, did I need that 5-second fucking scene?
It was.
We all know smoking's bad for you.
It was a bad.
It was stupid.
It was a bad note. It was bad CGI. It was
that,
and it's a bad joke to begin with.
No, but then it comes. Okay,
you already know at that point. Like in all fairness, if the point where we knew he was dying came later in the movie, then you could have had the Surgeon General joke earlier. Okay,
so you think it was part of the joke, like when he gets like his shirt gets all bloody and he's like, This was a $200 shirt, by the way.
Well, no. It's a joke in the language of the movie. It's not a joke from the character. When
No. I get that.
You know, so it's a joke to the audience. And
I'm saying I don't need the message.
I don't either. I don't like when the message is being pushed in my face, literally in this case.
In that, yes.
Because it takes me out of the movie.
Yep.
Because now I'm not somebody that's just watching along to a story.
That was stupid.
It's
that
a message being blown in front of me. And
it was also 5 seconds of stupidity.
Right.
Like, I almost turned to you and went out loud, really? And then at the end, couple it with, at the end, on the roof, he puts a piece of gum in his mouth. And I'm like, again, all that was screaming in my head was, really?
And look, it's not that I don't advocate smoking to anyone, but as far as this character goes, it's a part of the character.
Right.
This character is never without a cigarette in the books. He's never without a cigarette in this movie up to that point.
But
and it's a betrayal to the personality of the character.
And you also made a good point.
It's not an organic change.
It's not an organic change. Also, you made it. I said if you're from 15 years old, if you're smoking 30 cigarettes a day, you're not going cold turkey. And by the way, listeners, if you've ever done that, God bless you. Whatever. My dad quit cold turkey drinking after all those years. You know what I mean? So some people can do it, I guess. But my point is, you said the good point of, Lucifer took his cancer out of him, and you put him back on Earth. So, like, okay, thinking you're going to fuck up so you can eventually take him, but I still go back to this. Then, dude, start smoking again. Because your cancer's gone.
There's two ways.
And it's your character.
There's two directions that this could have gone into that I would have appreciated it more in that regard, as far as the smoking goes. One, John Constantine now knows that all things being equal, at this point, he's welcome into heaven.
Okay.
Right? So
he earned his way. He bought his way.
He earned his way in. He earned his way in.
Not bought, earned it.
If he was going to die tomorrow, he'd be in heaven.
Exactly.
Why not take up smoking again? He could even justify it.
Yeah.
He's like, the sooner I die, the sooner I'm going to be in the happy place. So I'm good to go. Let's just ride this out and enjoy it until that time comes.
Right.
That's one interpretation that would have been a little bit more accurate to the character.
Right.
But two, if you wanted to do the message, in air quotes, for, hey, kids, don't smoke, sort of thing, at the end of this movie that's already R-rated and shouldn't be driving that message anyway.
Right.
The more authentic way to do that would have been have him speaking with Rachel Weisz, having the same dialogue otherwise, and then he lights up a cigarette.
Yep.
And then he actually looks at it contemplatingly like, I really need to stop this shit.
Yeah.
Or make a comment about it and then snuff it out or something, instead of just going full, you can stop by just putting a stick of something else in your mouth.
Also, you know what I'd like to see? First of all, let's go. I don't want to see Constantine 2. I really don't have any desire.
Yeah. Well,
okay, I'm going to be flat out about that. But I will tell you, if you tell me you will see the trailer for Constantine 2 when it comes out and he's smoking, I'll go see it. Seriously. I want to see him smoking.
Right.
Also, something I just figured out as you were talking.
By the way, his character that he plays in the Cyberpunk video game, that he had a few years ago, chain smoking all the time.
Okay. I want to say this because I had an epiphany while you were just talking a second ago. And I asked you, okay, God wanted to take him because he earned his way.
You know what the name of his character is in Cyberpunk, by the way?
What? Is it John?
Johnny Silverhand.
Oh my God.
So there's another John.
Oh my God. Am I right on the John thing?
Yeah,
What is that?
I don't know. I never.
Why don't you just be John Reeves at this point? Because we don't know. But I love Keanu as a name. So, but what's funny to me is, seriously, just had an epiphany. Okay, so I said to you, God wanted to take him. It's important. God wanted to take him, but Lucifer said no. So he took the cancer out of him, and I said, why? And you said, because he doesn't want him to go to heaven. He wants him to be on earth so he'll fuck up again is the hope.
Well, he wants him in hell.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Right. He figures if he leaves him on Earth, then eventually he'll fuck up again because, as you know, Constantine is prone to do.
Yes.
Apparently, then he'll eventually get him. Now, you might have to wait 20 years. Remember when he was sitting there, he goes, "You waited 20 years. You might as well wait 20 seconds." Remember?
Yeah.
And that was a key end scene. So even if he has to wait 20 more years, but now I figured it out. It's not that you said he doesn't want him in heaven. I believe now, in talking about this, he just didn't want God to win.
Well,
he wants him in hell, yes, but he could have let God take him right then. Which, by the way, this is so preposterous, this conversation. Right, because this is never going to fucking happen.
But that is the basis
That's what I'm saying, because I know that, but
Christianity, right there, is that God, the devil wants to win.
I know. But I'm saying that it just, I'm not, okay, first of all, I'm not religious.
Right.
I am spiritual, but I'm not religious at all. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I've been like that my whole life. I believe in God, and that's it. Boom. Yeah. Done. We're done. I don't need to go to church. I'm spiritual, and I'm a good person. 60% of the time. But I'm just saying, that's what I got from it right now, my epiphany. It's, yes, he wants them to eventually come down, but it's just, he didn't want God to win. And that's why he sucked him down while God was raising him up. And it's like, it's kind of funny because it's kind of like real life with people. Forget the God and Satan thing. It's just like real life with people.
Well, but I mean, that's what all mythology is.
I know.
Is personifying.
Yeah.
Call them angels, call them demons, whatever.
Right.
And one of the fun things about stories like the mythos that Constantine, the book presents, is that Lucifer's a businessman, in the book series. I mean, or a politician or whatever. They're all people, and none of them really see themselves as the bad person.
Right.
They're all just kind of like doing their job.
Yeah.
Gabriel, when John...
Tilda. Who is Tilda?
Tilda, yeah.
Yeah.
When has been banished from heaven now. Her wings have been taken from her.
Oh, yeah.
She's
God shut that
manic
shit down.
Personality.
Yeah, sure.
And John walks away.
Yeah.
And she's literally like, I made you better.
Yeah.
Because you didn't use the gun on me.
Yeah.
But you would have a month ago.
Right.
And so she still sees like the ends justify the means in what she's doing.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So nobody is the bad guy.
No.
Satan has a job to do. Lucifer has a job to do. And what John has been doing for however long he's been doing it in the story is being a thorn in his side.
Right.
All of his agents that are on Earth, he keeps sending back to hell.
Yeah.
So it irritates the devil. It irritates, and that's the fun of these, type stories.
Right.
In general.
No.
Do I think that it's really presented well? And this isn't even an attack on this movie. Is all of that conceptually, can that fit in a 2-hour movie? I don't think it really can. But, this goes back to a TV series is a better property for something like Constantine, where it has a long form to go and you can have characters come in and out, and be introduced.
Right.
There's more of a fun dynamic when you can feel a sense of history between the characters. And you don't hear... We see Lucifer for 5 minutes at the end of this movie. Yeah. We see Papa Midnight for
and I also thought that was overacting, too. I mean, he didn't really creep me out. I mean, at first I was like, okay, this is interesting. But he didn't really, I don't know. I thought he was a little overacting, that character. Also, you also have to go from 2005 Constantine to, let's say, 2023, maybe 2024 Constantine. Let's see where you go. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, that's actually, by the way, listeners, I'm not saying I'm going to see Constantine 2. I stand by it tonight. I'm going to say it right now. I have zero desire. Unless he's smoking cigarettes. Then I might. Because then it's like, let's be real. Let's be fucking real. Like, if you're going to be chewing gum the whole way of Constantine 2, I don't buy it. Because it's like, it's your character. It's what you do. You even said it from the books. That being said, 2005 Constantine to, let's just say, 2024. Let's see what happened to your character between then.
I'll go a step further, and I'll just say that I'm always interested, right? You know, okay. I'm interested in everything. Do I have any strong desire for it? No.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what you do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I have zero desire to see the next Avatar movie. None.
Oh, gosh.
But am I fascinated in what he's going to do with it and how it's going to be received?
Right.
Kind of. I am not convinced. Deadline articles, Keanu talking about it, director talking about it. I am not convinced Constantine 2 is going to happen.
Oh, no.
I'm really not convinced. Honestly, I'd give it like a 20% chance. I do not think, and if it does happen, do I think it's going to even have the same level of success that this one did, box office wise? I'm not sure. I mean, Keanu is a draw.
Okay, right. But again, Keanu's a draw. But I also didn't see the fucking Lake House. The odds of me seeing Constantine 2 are the same odds of me seeing the Lake House.
No, it's not.
No, neither one's ever going to happen.
If I put the Lake House on right now, you'd sit there and watch it.
Bullshit, I would not. I honestly stand by that.
Really?
I literally have seen the trailer. I've seen a little bit about it. Keanu, honestly, I can say, does not sell a movie for me per se. He might to a lot of people in America the country, around the world for that matter. But just because you're in it, it doesn't mean I'm gonna see it. So
I don't think there's too many.
And I like Sandra Bullock too. Yeah. That's the funny thing. So it's like.
Yeah, but she's been in a lot of dogs too.
She has, but I mean, I haven't seen all her dogs either.
Right.
You know what I mean? I like her.
I like her too. I'm just saying, Keanu's a likable guy.
Maybe you should do something with Julia Roberts. See what I did there? Yeah, because we got to drop her in.
Just straight up Constantine 2.
Yeah.
Just recast Rachel Weisz
with Julia Roberts.
With Julia Roberts.
Why not? What are you doing? Are you listening? I mean, just call your agent, see what's going on. If he, sign up for this, because look, it could be better chemistry than Rachel Weisz. You know what I mean?
Could be.
Just saying.
Could be.
So. Anyway, we should wrap it up. And sorry, I did get...
Why not just make a John Wick 5 where he plays both John Wick and John Constantine in the same movie? Crossover.
Right.
They can battle.
Well, and then you know who else can run in? Johnny Utah. From
and Johnny Silverhand.
And Johnny, I know, right? I mean, just let's just do juxtapose. Is that the word? Let's have the three. Can he turn into three different guys? I don't know.
The Keanu Reeves multiverse.
And sorry, I got really animated there because the end thing. What bothers me is, and by the way, 2 hours and 1 minute, people, of this movie, and then I get to the end. I want some payoff, and I got animated because I want some payoff, and it's I didn't get it. I didn't get the chemistry, and then it was just I just didn't get it the whole movie anyway with the two of them, and then he pops a piece of gum at the end, and it's just I know I'm speechless right now because I'm stammering, but that's rare for me to do because I don't know what to say. It's just there was no payoff for me, and I was already kind of bored.
Well, there you have it.
There you have it.
Constantine, not really recommended from either one of us.
Yeah, and interesting. It was your pick.
Well, again, I picked it because
I know.
I don't pick movies because I think you're gonna love them.
Oh, okay.
I pick them because I think they'd be interesting to talk about.
Okay.
And this movie, again, would never have been picked.
Okay.
If it wasn't for the news that there was going to.
Sure. Okay, you're right. Well, A. I love Keanu.
And I know you like Keanu.
And then B, yes. So we'll wrap that back around from the beginning. I love Keanu, and then obviously there's going to be a Constantine 2, which Kristy is saying here right now tonight on Thanksgiving. I will not be seeing Keanu or in Constantine 2. I will not be seeing it. I will also not be seeing The Lake House. And if any of you have seen
what about
that...
The Lake House 2?
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. No. And if any of you are listening and you like The Lake House, I apologize. I'm just not going to do it. And I'm not going to do Constantine 2.
I will see The Lake House. I have no problem watching a bad movie.
Okay.
You've made me do it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll...
And I've seen bad movies. Yeah. You know I like some bad movies, but I'm not going to do it. So that's where we are, fans. That's where we're leaving it, I guess.
So...
but...
This is probably the first movie that neither one of us love.
No. I would say in all our podcasts so far, this is
eight
one...
episodes to get to one that neither one of us are a super fan of.
Right.
Or would even really recommend.
No.
I don't dislike this movie. I mean, I don't
hate it. I don't hate it.
But I don't feel strongly enough about it, even after a rewatch, almost 2 decades later, that...
I'm still between a 2.5 and 3 stars, not going to lie. I might not even do my review till tomorrow, because I don't know. I want to process.
Just like I said.
Can I do a 2.75?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Why doesn't Letterboxd offer that?
Like probably because it's a phone app and you can't move your thumb.
Well, anyway, I'm saying it now live. 2.75 if I could. But, I mean, I got to round down or I got to round up.
Yeah.
I don't know. What we need to do, though,
this will probably be reevaluated as a 3.
Well, I look, you're my husband, so I'm a big fan. I saw you gave this a 3.5, and I'm just like, okay, we're just, but now that we've discussed it,
here's when we went through Letterboxd and we just started clicking shit.
Oh, yeah. You might have done that.
I did not rate this 3.5 stars having seen it recently.
Sure.
I just rated it 3.5 stars when I cleared through Letterboxd and hit buttons.
Get it.
So... I might have felt like I probably gave it a 3.5, when I watched it.
Can I say it gets 2.5 already just because Keanu's in it? I mean, I'll say that,
Yeah, but
whatever.
You ripped on him.
Huh?
You ripped on his performance in this movie. Why does it get 2.5 because of him?
He's Keanu. I've said this.
Keanu bias.
He is John Reeves. See what I did there? Yeah. He's Keanu. Maybe his middle name's John. We should look this up. I don't know what the John thing is.
Yes. I mean, I can vouch for this movie, John, existing well before the movie existed.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I can't for anything else.
Okay, folks. This one is running long, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna end this.
This will be a 40-minute episode after I edit it.
Yeah, after it might be. I don't know. We like to not do many edits because we like to be real and keep it real. But sometimes we do stupid talk in the middle of things, so things happen. But we're gonna announce my next movie, right?
Is it better than this movie?
Oh God, I hope so.
Okay.
I didn't mean to pick this because we could go back on your love of Leprechaun. By the way, that's a joke, and I'm not choosing Leprechaun.
Kristy will never.
I'm never
gonna let it go.
I'm never gonna let it go.
The lie that I love Leprechaun.
Yes.
For whatever reason.
And but before I announce this one, the only reason it came up, not because of my love of Friends, the show, and not because of anything else.
Oh, we're watching The Pallbearer?
Oh, Jesus. No, we're not watching a David Schwimmer movie, but
we're watching Fools Rush In?
Jesus, no, it's not a Matthew Perry movie. Can I get a minute here? Why I picked it is because in one of our last episodes, I can't remember if it was Little Darlings or the one before that. Sorry, because they're all flowing together. What was the
one before Little
Voyage
of the Rock Aliens?
Yeah, we were talking about, we always throw in certain movies, and I threw this one in, and you're like, I don't know what that is. And I said, oh, okay, so it went on my radar. And it is The Good Girl, 2002, Jennifer Aniston, Jake Gyllenhaal. Not always a huge fan of Jennifer Aniston, although I love Friends, but this one I felt she was... I think that's why it came up, because we were talking about movies that it was just like I feel she's really good in this, and I do have some love for Jake Gyllenhaal. I feel he's really good in this. John C. Reilly plays her husband. That's who I was trying to tell you in that episode, but I couldn't think of his name.
Gotcha.
And I know you know who John C. Reilly is.
I like John C. Reilly.
Anyway, 2002, I believe it got pretty good reviews. Also, I've seen it a couple of times. It struck me as, wow, kind of want Sean to see this. So, don't really want to give too much away.
Do you expect that I will like this?
I actually do.
Okay.
I mean, there's no leprechauns in it, but I mean, I think that you will probably like it. So
this whole show is bullshit.
So, again, that's what we're doing, and I hope you like it. I'm anxious to watch it again.
My next 9 picks are going to be the next.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, then this podcast will be over forever if that's what happens. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. And The Good Girl 2002, wherever you can find it. We have the DVD. Sean said on Amazon. It looks like you have to get it on DVD.
It looks like.
Not sure if it's streaming.
I will let the audience know if there's another way to watch it, or if it's on YouTube, or if it's on anything else. But it looks like it's not streaming.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Because usually not even rentable on.
Which, by the way,
Amazon.
if you're interested in watching Constantine after our glowing reviews of it, you can
you can find
you can
anywhere.
find that on HBO Max. So
okay.
you can watch that.
Interesting. You can find that anywhere.
It's
a
DC property. And DC's
true.
HBO. So I mean, just about everything is available there.
But Good Girl's not the Good Girl. Sorry, is not streaming from what we can tell. But if Sean finds other ways to see this, he will let us know. Yep. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, or whenever you listen to this.
Yes, and sorry for our babble tonight, but wow, I was animated about this one. Yep. So as were you a bit. So I think just
as was the bad CGI.
Yeah. And where is the cat? Where is Doc or Duck? Once we end here, I'm going to go Google that.
I mean, Duck would be funnier because you're naming an animal another animal. So that's what would generate the reaction, the laugh reaction from.
I swear she said Doc, but who knows? Anyway, thanks for hanging in.
Thanks for listening to us go on about Constantine.
Yes. And see it if you want to see it, or if you've already seen it. Maybe you agree with us, maybe you don't. But that's what we're here for. We agree to disagree.
So, looking forward to watching The Good Girl, seeing what that's all about.
And we'll talk to you. No, we won't.
No, we won't. We don't talk to anybody. They listen, we talk. It's the Kristy dream come true.
This is true.
All right, so scratch
all that shit out. Okay, or leave it because you know what? Bloopers, people.
Oh, God.
There's got to be bloopers.
I could do a fucking.
Anyway, we will see you next time. On the flip side, we're tuning out and
have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks for joining us and cheers.
Be well.